Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian Report for Tuesday the 13th of July, and obviously this particular pattern that we're looking at through here is corrective. It's a continuation pattern, so once it's finished it should continue higher. We are seeing the US markets move higher. We know that this particular pattern is being held here, or has been held here, partly because of CBA. So let's just check on CBA. So CBA is in the same situation as well. In that we're looking from wave 4 here as 1 and 2 and 3. And looking for wave 4 here, it's a little bit hard to understand this particular correction, I must say. All I can really say is that once this market, or if this market gets back on top of the 100 here, then it'll probably, be finished at that particular point. It already, for a wave 4, it's pulled back to the 38.2% retracement level, so we shouldn't see it going down much further, even though it can, 38.2 is close to 40%, so it could drop to 50%, where probably the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree is here at 95. Probably not. But what we're looking for is support on top of 100 to be able to buy this. So yeah, we're not there yet. If I go to the tick chart, it doesn't really help me either with this. So the simple takeaway here is we need that 100 as the support. So I think it will start to sort of wiggle into place a little bit. So with this one here, on this 4-hour chart here, yeah, I think it's finished. And what we were looking for in this leg up here again, as we were looking in this leg here, we're looking for 5 waves up. We're also looking for 5 waves up here, and then an ABC pattern to come into play for a corrective move in this space. So let's just go in and have a look at this little leg here and the setup here. The important thing here, though, is that the other important thing here is that where we are in terms of price, because from 7,000 we got 100, 200 and 300. So these are all minor levels, and they make up Minor Group 1, and the market's really just trying to find support on this level. That's what it's all about. Because once that's established and the correction's finished, then it will move straight up to 5 at that point. And because we've got this as an accumulation process, then we no problems in getting to 5. So it's just really, these corrections can wear you out. So you just got to kind of hang in there and manage your own emotions until we get to the end of it and we're on our way. And sometimes it takes a couple of goes, because I thought we had it here with this impulse wave and looking for an ABC back, but it pulled back, making a new low here in 3 waves. So it must be part of this triangle pattern here that can also be counted slightly differently as well, but we still end up with the same result. So we need to discover the 5 waves in here and then the retracement level back here. So just going onto the hourly chart here for a moment. Not a big difference here. I think I might have to go to the tick chart, but what I'm thinking is that we've got a little bit more of a push here and then the ABC to come back and test it again. So if you're long here, I think that's fine in the bigger picture if you're a trend trader. If you're not a trend trader and you feel that a pullback to not so much 73, but it could pull back into group 2 below that. So 7,280 sort of area. We'll have a look on the tick chart. But yeah, look, that's kind of what we're looking at in a nutshell. Yeah, this could all be sort of Wednesday, Thursday sort of stuff, Well, in the bullish weekly cycle, if we see Friday being strong, then Monday's going to follow through on that. And then we start seeing profit taking coming in on Tuesday, and Wednesday can be a bit of a V-shaped day. Thursday can actually open higher and then trade lower again like it did last week. So, and then we look at Friday and Monday again at that point. So I think that will take us up there. So yeah, just in understanding the bullish weekly cycle, understanding the wave count and the trading levels should put us pretty close to where we need to be. The 100 ticks, and like I said, we still really need Commonwealth Bank to come and support this move to the upside with this as well. So this low here is the wave 4, so I'll just put that in here. We're in 100 ticks now, and we talked about day trading yesterday and building into positions. So if you've got positions in here, you can get out or you can ride it out. I'm thinking, get these tools working. Wave 3, let's just bring these in here. Wave 4, wave 5, and then we could just put in the A, the B. In fact, I think I'm 1 degree short here, smaller. So, yeah, right. So I better shape that up too. Sorry about that. Let me fix that up. Okay, so I've just touched that up a little bit, and what I mean by that is I've put in wave 1 here and 2 here, and wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here. This wave 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and then we'll have the ABC. There should be another little push up here somewhere, and then some sort of ABC pattern here. Shouldn't be too much, and then pushing off from that point. Now, above the level here, at 300, then we've got a sub, this is a minor level at 300, so 100, 200 and 300 are minor levels, and then we've got the sub levels. So if we're working with 300 here, we can come down to 65, 72 and 80 here for this. So this is the natural swing range for this little section just here, but the 50-60% retracement level that we also need to look at as well, let's just take that. You can adjust this, okay, so I'll just take it a little bit higher here to say 60, 73, 65, and then we can put in this here. So it's, even though it looks like I've done a reasonable job in terms of accuracy here, when it actually happens, it will look like I'm stoned or drunk or something. So, but it'll be something like that, you know. And then, of course, the length of this wave 1 here, we should see at minimum the same length over here, but probably another 40% on top of that. So we're really gunning up here to 75. So we'll put that up there. So in terms of the trades that I've put in, I think that will just stay out of the way, let the market do its thing. If you're a day trader, then obviously you'll do something different, but I just want to leave the stop out of the way here. Alrighty, so that's that. Let's move on and have a look. We looked at CBA, so there's nothing really cooking with CBA. Look, hopefully it lifts off and starts to find the 100 as support sometime this week. That's what we're looking for. With ANZ, it's back in that little triangle pattern. As I've mentioned before, I'm not quite sure if we should put wave 3, 4 and 5 here and finish it off, or this wave 4 here can be just wave 1 and wave 2 at this point here. So yeah, you know, because the normal thing here at 30, in one way or another, if you're long in this market, you can stay long, because in a nutshell, we're going to come up, we're having a reaction to this, which we are now, so that's already taking place. The first high above the level, and then some sort of corrective move here. It'll be something like that. And once again, if we're working with 30 here, we can work with group 1 above, so that will be 31, 32 and 33, and then below that is 28. We can go to 72 and 65, which will be 26.50 here. Just to let you know that that should be the swing range for this market. So yeah, look, it really just depends on sort of who you are and what you do, but that would be the vibrational space at 30 for this market, and this is the basic pattern that we're looking for. So we're looking for, in a nutshell, we're looking for the classic trading levels pattern. So that will be the arrival, which we've got, the reaction, which we've got. We're still looking for the first high above the level, then we'll get this, then we'll get this, and then we'll continue to move up. So for longer term traders, understanding this is fantastic. Shorter term traders, well, then that's also helpful as well, depending on what legs you want to trade, but that's sort of where that's at the moment for that. Let's move over to the resources. So yeah, yesterday we had a look at the energy side of things. We looked at Woodside and Santos. We could have a quick look at them again today, but iron ore is the one that we're looking at here. So I'm just going to go back to the daily chart for a moment. There hasn't been a lot of change since yesterday. So yeah, we're at 1,000, and this is the minor levels above, like 1, 2 and 3, which if we get support on top of 3 here, then that will push us up to 5, and we'll be getting support on top of 3 here tells me that we're leaving the closest largest number. In this case, we didn't happen over here, and we're in here. This particular pattern here, I'm not sure if it's correct. I've done my best. I understand some of it. I know that the move from the top here down to the bottom here is in 3 waves. I know that this move is bullish corrective. I know at some point we're going to be taking out that top. Will it just move straight up from here? Do we come down here further for this? I'm not quite sure, because I'm getting mixed messages within this particular structure here. So I know that in this space, like for instance, this low here, this little move up here is in 3 waves. Because that's in 3 waves, it would make it corrective. And that means that at some point we should be making a low below this low here. I don't know if this is an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. It looks like it, but I don't know if it's wave D here or wave 2, and we're going to go down much further. So I don't know that either. There's only parts of things that I know with all of this. So there's not a lot of help here at the moment with this for iron. But to be long in iron ore stocks, Rio, FMG and all those guys, it's fine. I think the worst thing that could actually really happen here is that if we take the length of wave A here, and it's not in 5 waves, it's in 3 waves, so it's kind of also very helpful. So we could put this over here. So the worst that this could do is come back below the 1,000 level to 800 and then move up from that point. I mean, that would be reasonably, logical to play out. And necessarily doesn't have to take that long to do that either. But I mean, this could all just be an A wave here, and then some type of triangle for a B wave or something. I can rearrange this so it's slightly different. Yeah, so we could look at this as just the A wave here, some sort of B wave here and some sort of C wave here. I mean, that would be logical. Anyway, I don't have all the answers for this just yet but I do know that it's bullish, but it could certainly drop first before it goes up. So it's not helping me lead very well in terms of, it's going to the tick chart. It's not, it's not helping me a great deal in a lot of this. It helps me in little ways, So working through this ABC here, I knew that this was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, then the B wave, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, overlapping wave structures, I know, but I'll suck that up. The B wave could actually come over to here for this. Yeah, it would counter down here yesterday. We're looking for a bit of a rally here. we're getting that. How far it goes, it could just go to this point here and drop from that point there as well. So it's a lot, this is the triangle pattern that I'm following. It'd be nice if it was true, but I don't know that yet. Another interesting point though, this level here, the 1060, that's the 61.8% here, and then above here at the 1200, that's the 61.8% as well. So this range here, just sort of observing it in here and see if I can, understand more and more as it unfolds sideways here. But support on this level up here creates the long trade, and down here would create the short trade. Well, I don't even think it's short trade. I think it's an opportunity in resource stocks to look at this. So let's have a look at BHP in the US as an ADR, because it's the last closing price. We can see that this is a daily chart for the New York desk BHP, and yeah, I mean the thing here is that we can have wave 3 here. We can have wave 4 coming down here. I mean, I find it a bit small for this degree of structure, but it's actually 60% bigger than the previous degree of structure of wave 4. So it's doable. It does sort of haunt me that we could have an A wave here, a B wave up here, a C, a D, and an E wave over here as wave 4. But even if that was the case, we're not coming down lower really, are we? I mean, not much anyway. We're banging our heads against the top here. We've got double tops, which are never the end of a bull campaign, as WD Gann would say. So we should be going higher. If this wave 4 is correct for a moment, then this is wave 1 here, and I can count 5 waves on the New York BHP. On the Australian BHP, this is much more choppier and very difficult to count, so I think taking it off this market is fine. So we can have that as wave 1, and I do have that as the primary count, and then I have an ABC here for wave 2. So from wave 4 we're going up to wave 5, which will be way up here somewhere, and that will be wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2, and then going up for wave 3, 4, and 5. So there's not a lot of difference between my bullish count and the triangle count here, but this is where it will play out here, because as a triangle here, as wave D here, this would be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then it would come back down here in 3 waves as well, hitting this trend line through here. But as this count here, and this wave 1 is probably not correct here, this wave 1 will probably have to go up here further for that, and I'll put that up there now for that, and then I'll screw that up there. But this can be wave 1 here. I'm just going to drop it down to a smaller thing there because it's a daily chart. Okay, well, let's do the 3 of them there, 5 of them, because that's what we'll track. So in this instance, we can look at this here for wave 1 and 2 in here, and then this little move up here, let's just see how far it goes. We'll call that wave 3, wave 4 in coming back here somewhere, and wave 5 here for this wave 1, and then pulling back for wave 2 here, and then going up further for there. So I've got a position in the Australian BHP, so that means that I can look to add to this, because we're going from wave 4. If I get 5 waves here, right, that will confirm that this is wave 4 here. If I get 5 waves here, that will confirm that this is wave 4, and this will be wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here. So this will really move along quite quickly here. It will move from this 80 to 100 pretty damn quick. But we need those 5 waves here first for that. Okay, so we'll work through that and the triangle pattern. While we're on this chart, we'll look at our local BHP here, and that popped up nicely yesterday here. So this is the same pattern I've got here as well. So I've got the triangle pattern, the A, B, C, D, and E here, but that's looking a little bit slim now after BHP was up 4% yesterday, or 3.55 or something. So yeah, the original count of wave 4 here with 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, and going up into the 3rd wave, and the power of this going up here as well is as on point on Q. So yeah, that's all looking pretty rosy, really. I mean, it's a nice place to add to this here as well. So I might do that for myself. Yeah, anyway, I've got some decisions. I wanted to get into a few US tech stocks as well. Okay, so that's that. Let's just have a look at what else we got in that space. We've got Rio. So Rio was up a couple of percent. So we've got this is same but different here. So we've got this daily chart 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. So it's starting to get up there, isn't it? You know, the important point here, as I've probably mentioned before, 100, and then we've got the minor levels that make up group 1 of 100, which is 10, 20, and 30, 1, 2, 3. So if we get a tested support on top of 3 here, and it's trying to, yeah, and because it's in a way, normally we would look for the arrival, the reaction in 3 waves or whatever, and then we look for the first high above the level, and then we look for a nice large sort of correction here, and then we go up from that point. That's what we sort of look for. But sometimes what I've learned as well is that when we've spent a fair bit of time here already in this space here, this becomes an accumulation process in here as well. So sometimes when you've got a lot of accumulation here, then this move back down through here is an ABC that we're expecting to go long here and waiting for the pullback. It doesn't really happen. We end up getting some sort of thing that does this, but then comes back up here, just touches back here, and then moves off again from that point. So just be a little bit mindful of that. Okay, so just clear that up here a bit. So yeah, I mean, we've got one position here. We're leaving the stop out of the way. We want another position here for this, so I'll just leave that up to you where you get in. I don't think it matters because we've got the double toppy thing here anyway. I think that this is just going to sort of, if that's wave 1 and 2 here, and this is wave 1 and 2 here, and we're going into a little 3 here, so this will be 1 and 2 here, and this will be 3, and it'll be 4 and 5, something like that. And that will be that wave 3 here. So we could put this wave 3 here, for instance, 1, 2, 3, a bit rough and ready, and then come back for wave 4 here, and then go up for wave 5 here, and that will make wave 3 at that point there. I mean, just roughly speaking, and then wave 4, and then wave 5 to make wave 3 here. So from wave 2 to wave 3, but we also want this wave 1 here to be, as a starting point anyway, we want it at least the same length, but normally we look for another 60% on top of that for wave 3. So yeah, we can do that. Well, we can do that now, can't we? So we can take this here as the length of wave 1, roughly speaking, and then we can just lift that up to the bottom of wave 2 there, and then that will give us that wave 3. So if we put, it's just a sort of starting point really. It's, you know, so I might just copy one of these and then change that to 1, 2, 3. So that's really where we're looking at here, just to get a bit of perspective, so we don't need that. 3, so we still need that. 4. We might as well sort of finish it off a little bit, shall we? I mean, the other interesting point here too, when we consider it, is that, you know, we're going from wave 1 here to wave 2 here, and we're going up to wave 3 here. And that will bring us back to 4 and then to 5. So that's where we're going. So Rio at 200 is kind of what we're looking at. And that's counting, so I'm just thinking, so I'm from this low here, wave 4 here, from the March lows, looking at all of this as 1 and 2. Now, I did have this as wave 3 and 4 here, but I just think it's too small. But anyway, we'll just keep going and we'll see. We'll see how quickly this moves here in this, all of this area here for this. Yeah. Okay, so FMG, I've got more of a slightly different count on this, but looking good. So we've got wave 3 here, and was looking at wave 4 being, well, looking at all of this as an A and a B and a C wave, because I couldn't get 5 waves out of this, but I'm sure I'm going to have to treat it as 5 waves in the same line with Rio and BHP. I just couldn't get the 5 waves out of here, so I've left it like this. But taking that top out there is going to change things. So once that top's taken out, then we can take that B wave out here and this wave 4 out. We can change all of that, and we can turn this to bullish at that point, which we can do now in a way just to get you on the right side of things. And or now that we're long here, so that would mean that this becomes wave 1 and 2 here, and we'll look for wave 3, 4 and 5 up here for wave 3. I'm just going to dull this out for the time being. I don't particularly want to take it away just yet. Just need to confirm a few things. And that means that we'll just sit these out of the way here for a moment. So we can put that wave 4 over there, we can put that here, we can put that here and here. I could have put that B wave there, but I won't. Okay, so, okay, that's it then, really. Going for wave 3 up here. I mean, we know that, you know, the stockpiles in copper, for instance, are so low. We know that Xi Jinping can't manipulate the iron ore price. You know, they can't control the supply. They can't control the end user. They're stuck in the middle. So yeah, he's going to get egg on his face and the Australians don't mind a bit of egg on his face, really, I guess. I suppose that's not the right attitude to take, but, you know, they're just bullies. Well, I mean, I like Chinese people. I mean, Chinese people always just want to get on and do their business, do their thing, you know. They've been in Australia since sort of day dot, since the gold mining days, and the same in America, and they've always been lovely people. They just mind their own business. They get on with what they're doing. You know, they're more well behaved than the English and the Americans, for sure. So I have good thoughts for and good wishes for Chinese people, but what's happening with the Uyghurs and other things in that place, you know, I mean, it's just a bully in a bloody schoolyard, really, isn't it? You know, I mean, why can't everybody just get on? War doesn't bring anything. Anyway, can't talk politics when talking markets. So yeah, look, I mean, I have to say FMG is looking good. And as I mentioned before, you know, this stock pays a really good dividend, something like 6% or something. So it's pointing upwards. The dividend is fantastic. So let's move on a little bit. Just got to get my thoughts together a little bit. And so we want to have a look at CRUDE. So CRUDE, this is a daily chart for CRUDE. So we've been watching wave 4 pull back here. We know the move down here is in 3 waves. Now that becomes interesting because it's in 3 waves, it means that it can just go straight up from here. That's one thing it can do. The other point here, though, is that because it's in 3 waves here, if it was in 5 waves here, then it will pull back up to the 61.8% and then have another 5 down. It could come lower. But because it's got 3 waves here, then it's going to be part of the flat family or a triangle. So even as a triangle pattern, it's not really going to come any lower, so to speak, not much lower. And even if it was not in a triangle pattern, it was in a flat correction, then the flat correction will just really stay in the bounds of this here, unless it's an expanded flat. An expanded flat will just take the top out here by 10-20% and then take the little low out here by 10 or 20% and then move off. But either way, it's not really going much lower, so that's all quite good. Let's just check on the tick chart with this. So this is it moving down from the top here, and it's pretty clear to see that we do have 5 waves in here. We went over this yesterday, and then the 5 waves here sticks out like dogs, what's the names, and then we've got ABC here. So if it's going to turn lower, this is where it was going to turn lower from. It looks a little bit impulsive here, but I don't know that just yet. You get support on 75 and she's going up at that point. So I don't know which wave 4 we're going to get here, but we've got 3 waves here, so it can go straight up. We could get into a flat correction or triangle or something. I just don't know yet, so I'm not going to forecast into the future just yet. I could pull that apart and get some sort of little more of an idea. If we do move up here, just to say, just to this point here, then there's probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then we'll have some sort of ABC pattern and then sort of further up at that point, but I don't know that just yet, but it's something just to keep an eye on. We were looking at Woodside and Santos yesterday, so let's have a quick look at those. So when we spoke about this yesterday, these guys, I said that that we'll just start to keep a bit of an eye on them, you know. So this is a daily chart and it's Santos. I don't know if you can see that up there in the screen. I'll try to get that in there. It's one day. And from the March lows here, March here, I was looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here for this. So we're going up into wave 5 here. This is a conservative count, by the way. And I was looking at this being wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here. And then going up for 3, 4 and 5. The thing is we needed the market to prove to us that it was actually going to go up. The move up here appeared to be 5 waves. So if that is the case, then we'll have a 3-wave move back, which we've got. So we can go long above that previous high here, because where that previous high here is also the 61.8%. So that box there is the 50-60%. So yeah, the market doesn't need to go back up and test that because it's been tested up there and being kicked back down again. So any move up there at this point would send that more bullish, but we've got time with all of this as well, so let's just see. But anyway, that's where we're going long from on Santos. And Woodside had much the same bit different. So I was looking, well, first of all, this from the COVID drop here, I wasn't sure about this. I just need to spend a bit more time on this move here and this one here for this. Yeah, I just need to understand it a bit better. But apart from that, I started to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, an A, B, and C for 2. Now, this could be an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave, and this could be a B wave coming back here. but would still push up whichever way I look at it. So we'll just treat it conservatively, but it's got the same thing again as well. It's got a little impulse wave here for wave 1, back for wave 2, then up for wave 1 and coming back for wave 2. So we're going to go along, if you wanted to, above this particular high here for that, because that would send that one off in the right direction. We're also considering that this little move up here was like an impulse wave, so we're looking for a corrective wave to come back. So it's okay to buy it at 23 as well. There's higher risk in that. In fact, what we can do now, this would be a little A wave coming down, and that would be a B wave coming back, so we can drop that down on top of the B wave there. And it may already be wave 1 here and wave 2 back to here already, and then going up for wave 3 here. I don't know, but even if it does drop down through here, that's okay. But anyway, these two, just looking at the energy sector a little bit, you know, looking at that, maybe I need to look at OSH as well, oil search. We're looking at BHP already. I did start to look at S32 as well. I will have a look at some other Australian stocks, but I can't do too many. And the other point is that if you can just send me an email as well, of course, and I'm happy to look at whatever you're looking at. If I can help in any way whatsoever, I'll help. So just contact me. Okay, so the other things we want to have a look at is copper. So this is just the weekly for copper. So it's pretty clear to me that from the March lows here, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 here. And we're in this wave 4 here. Is wave 4 finished? It could be, because it's touched on the 38.2%, which is the top here, and then the wave 4, 1 less degree here, wave 4, little triangle-y pattern here, wave 4 here, so it could pull back down to that point. I don't know that yet. It's a little bit complicated in this area up here to make a really good, you know, to make an assessment of that. Just going to the 4-hour chart here. So when I say it's a little bit messy up there, this is a little bit messy here. This could be counted just differently here. So what I've been doing is I've just been, as you may know, between 9,000 and 10,000, the halfway mark is always really important. A bit of a Gann trick. Not that I'm a Gann trader, but I've studied him and taken what I needed to. There's still a lot more there to be had, of course. But at 500, I know that that's the second strongest number. So we need to see if if copper is going to go up, then we need to be above this high here. We could also bring that down to the next high if we wanted to, down to this point here. But we don't really trade copper, but it does help us with you know, copper stocks like BHP. So I don't know if this is an A and a B and a C to here, and we're coming down, or we're building to the upside here. I mean, it's really sitting on top of Group 1 here. It's a really nice support, isn't it? So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, Group 1. So it's sitting there. So I've just got to see. I don't know just yet. We're starting to see some, you know, obviously the US dollar index and the other pairs, you know, are all sort of related back to this as well. So with the Australian dollar, it's just a 4-hour chart here. So some of this is easy to understand. The first leg down here is in 3 waves. So we know that this is bullish. We know that the Australian dollar will eventually trade above 80 cents. The other thing here is that from wave B down to wave C here, most of it's pretty easy to understand. It's just a little bit ugly in this little area through here that can be interpreted in different ways. I've got it as wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here for wave 3 here. And then I could put this wave 4 here. That would be the logical thing to do, but I just feel like it's a little bit small compared to this wave 4. So I think that we, you know, and we could probably, and on our website it's like that, but I'm just doing the opposite thing here. this little move up through here as a wave C for wave 4 could be the case. It could also be wave 1 as well. We won't know that until if it's going to be wave 1, we're going to have 5 waves up here. If it's going to be wave C, we're also going to have 5 waves up here. So we won't know. We'll only know when the top comes in and then it starts to pull back. Now when it pulls back, it's either going to pull back as an ABC here. It's an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then we can go long above the B wave. Or it's going to have 5 waves down here, and finish off wave 5 of C here, and that may help copper come down at that point as well. Now, even though you don't trade currencies and so on, it would be a good idea to also monitor our charts on the euro and the pound and so on, because they will all be turning as well. And some of them have got better lows in place here at the moment and look more positive to go the upside. So they may lead to the upside. So you could take that lead in that space, So yeah, I don't need to go into those currencies. They're on our website anyway, so you can just check on those. So yeah, look, we're just still fluffing around with this here. Of course, if this level here, the lower end of group 2, the 7650 rather, if that becomes the support at any point in time, well then obviously, we'd need to be long at that point. But yeah, so that brings us to the US dollar as well. So I'll just find that for a second. Just want to double check. So with this is a daily chart, the DXY, of course, and don't need to go into the bigger picture here. We know we got wave 3 here. This is, this was the Australian dollar pulling back from 80 cents, in 3 waves being corrective. So we know that this is also corrective here as well. And we've had the run down and so on. So yeah, the A, the B, and the C wave here. It's possible that there can be one more move up here, as I keep saying. We know there's a little 5 waves in here, so that's wave 1 and 2 here. We don't know if this low for wave 2 should go over to this low here. If that's the case, then we've got a top in play here. If it's not the case, and we need to look at this as 1 and 2 again in here, so 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, then this 1 and 2 here becomes part of this 3, 4 and 5 here, and then that would be all of wave 3 from this low here to this point, leaving this one here as 1 and 2 here, and going up for wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then having one more high up here. So I'm not there just yet with this. Yeah, sure, that may be the top, but I'd still want evidence of that. I know I've got 5 waves moving down here, and so those 5 waves will deliver either wave 1 or wave A, and then a B and a C wave here, or can continue down at that point. So once we count these 5 waves here, then any move below that, we'll know that we're in bearish mode at that point. And in that, we would look at in this bigger picture here, we would look at all of this move down through here, probably the way that the Feds have printed money as wave 1 rather than wave C. And if it's wave 1, well then in that case we're going to get we're going to see a stronger US dollar after this move down. We could take, even if I take it from 88, so we take the top here, from the top down to 88, maybe lower at that point, that would bring us back to this little area through here. So in this case, we can look for some sort of ABC pattern coming back up here to 96 and then coming down stronger at that point. So wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then coming down into wave 3. So the big slide for the US dollar. Because the Feds have, looking at the Fed's minutes from their meeting the other day, I mean, the Fed's been controlled by Congress, and the idea of the Fed, and the same with our RBA as well. I mean, their main point within everything really is to have a stable economy, and that means their focus is, their mandate is employment and a stable dollar. In a stable environment, and they're going to do anything they can to keep that. So that means that they will print, will keep continuing to print. So we'll see how that dilution actually plays out, because from all the money that they've printed so far, this is not really a big dilution in anything, So yeah, I don't think it's sort of hit some particular point where it matters at this stage. Anyway, waffling on, sorry. Okay, so where are we now with things? So I think we've covered things. Let's just check on gold. Not much for gold happening, so this is just a 1 hour chart for gold. As we talked yesterday, I wasn't quite sure if we had wave 1 here or here. It didn't really matter too much because this is our swing range here for the 1800. And but support on 1810 would tell us, so because this little move here is in 3 waves, right? Then we can go long above that top. It's as simple as that. Take it down to the second high. And that looks like 5 waves here. So that to me looks like, I need to mull it over a little bit more, but at first glance here, I think that's wave C with the B wave here, and that's wave 1. So I'll move that away and move that there and that. And that becomes the A wave at that point. So an A and a B and a C, and if that top is taken out, well then we're on our way at that point. Of course this here could be just wave 1 here and coming back for wave 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but once it takes out that top, then that eliminates that problem. But I think that's looking quite good. That's not a part of that. And that means that if that's wave 1, we need to put that there. And this will all have to be lifted up. But I'll go back and check that. Yeah, let's just see if that gets taken out there. Where does that leave us with the new crest? Still bobbing along the bottom somewhere. Yeah, still bobbling along the bottom here. That's okay. So I'm hoping for a lift. Let's just see if that's going to occur. Doesn't look very impulsive going up into this little sort of area through here. Anyway, let's just hang in there. Okay, alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.